Hi, everybody, and welcome to Chair Yoga with Ana here at the PCSNM Chapel in the Weymouth location. I am so happy to be here, to be with all of you. I have a full house here today, so welcome those at home, welcome those in studio. I'm really grateful to see all your faces. So today, I'm just going to talk a little bit, and then we'll come into our practice. So I don't know if you guys got a read of my blog, but I brought in we're being bombarded with so much information right now, and with the world events that are happening right now are just really, really heavy, and that really lowers the vibration of the entire world, really. So it really is up to us to continue these practices so we can continue to counter what's happening. And that's why I emphasize that this is really a critical place for us where we really have to take care of ourselves, because our little ones or those closest to us also need us in a different kind of way to support what's happening around us. So very important to take care of our hearts, take care of our bodies, because this is the perfect opportunity for illness to come in and make things worse or just start something new. So on that, we want to make sure that we take care of ourselves. We're eating well, we're supplementing, we're getting enough rest, enough sleep, listening to our bodies, and making sure that we surround ourselves with people that are vibing high, just like we are. It's contagious. So let's keep doing it. And what I brought in this week is square breath, square breathing. And a little tidbit on square breathing. Did you know, or maybe you didn't, maybe you did, that it's been scientifically proven that square breathing brings you back into equilibrium. And this is a breath that they teach to the Navy SEALs, and they teach to our military, essentially, because they're people who are in one of the highest stress situations, right, that can be. So if they're doing square breath, and if they're doing square breath at a time of high stress, we can do square breath, and we can empower ourselves to bring our nervous system back into equilibrium. And then just a reminder too, that take the time to turn off the TV, turn off some social media, just kind of shut out there's a lot of noise coming in. So we want to make sure, and our senses are being bombarded. So we want to be sure to give it time to shut the TV off, maybe turn off the news. We're getting enough of it everywhere. So in the day, just a practice of turning down the outside noise and enjoy the quiet sounds of what's around you. Even taking a walk, just making sure that those noises aren't coming in all the time. So square breath. Square breath, I'm going to explain the suspension, because the pause is kind of a hold of the breath. And some people, when it comes to holding their breath at the top or holding their breath at the bottom of an exhale, can get a little anxious because it could feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to explain a way that can lessen the discomfort when it comes to suspending the breath. So when you inhale and you hold the breath, you want to make sure that you don't take the deepest inhale. Come to a place where you're comfortable to hold the breath and suspend it there. So then you're not, reaching for more breath. And so it'll be at the count of 4, and then on the count of 4, you'll exhale. And exhale to a point where you're not completely letting all the air out, but you're exhaling enough to the comfort where you can suspend the breath. Pause for 4 seconds. And then after those 4 seconds, you inhale back in the same way to the point where you're comfortable suspending the breath at the top for 4 seconds. And then we'll exhale and repeat the same thing. So I hope that can ease some of the discomfort of holding the breath at the top and of the bottom. So you're technically not holding the breath. You're just suspending it for a moment, releasing, suspending for a moment, and then repeating. Okay, so let's ground our feet in and make sure we're in a comfortable seat. If you've been practicing with me, remind you that to listen to your bodies, and whatever doesn't feel good, it's okay to just rest and stop, take a sip of water. And those of you that are at home can always come back to the practice and watch it later if it feels like it's too much. So we're going to do this with our eyes open. I'll just be giving you a little visual as I guide you in the breath. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale it all out. On the next breath, take a breath in for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suspend. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Suspend. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Suspend. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Suspend. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Suspend. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Suspend. You can count to yourself. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause and relax. Come back to your normal breath. And just notice how you feel. It slows the heart rate down. And it brings you back into a more relaxed state. Even I feel it here, not being too hyped up before doing it. I feel much more calm. So a personal speck of information from me is that in therapy, my experience has also been to experience this breath with a therapist. There's actually breathing therapists that work with you. And I already had the background of yoga, so I caught on to this breath really quickly. But it was really amazing to see. They have 2 screens, and they put a little thing on your finger to monitor your heart rate. And they have a screen that is blank. So they're monitoring your heart rate. So one screen is showing how your heart rate is going. And it's really fast at first, right? Then they have you do the square breath. And you start to visually see your heart rate come down, and then on the other screen, these images begin to pop up as your breath and your nervous system come back into equilibrium. And it's really amazing to visually see that happening. So that description is literally what we just experienced here. All right, so let's take a deep breath in and out. Let's come to hands at heart center. And just take a moment here. Let's fall into a space of gratitude. With that intention behind it, I invite you to fall into a place of gratitude. Gratitude for our breath and gratitude for empowerment, empowering us to be able to do this and bring ourselves to a state of relaxation. This leads us into a place where we can better handle and navigate our day-to-day journeys. And take a deep breath in and out. Swallow at the back of your throat. Let's release the hands. And let's start from the ground up. Let's get into our feet. So let's inhale and lift the heels. Exhale, place the heels down, lift the toes. Place the toes down, lift the heels. And then place the heels down, lift the toes. Spread the toes. Place the toes down, grab the little pencil with your toes. And then relax the feet. So let's extend the feet out. And then let's bring that left foot to rest on the top of the foot. So what we're doing here is we are opening up the top of the top of the foot, which can get very tight. So literally placing the pressure on the top of the foot, and you can play with that pressure. So you can press a little bit towards the pinky toe, you can press a little bit towards the big toe. So it all just depends on the comfort level, and it's not necessarily going to feel comfortable because it might feel a little tender because the tops of our, who deals with the tops of our feet? It's always tied up in a shoe. So just getting into that top part. And you can also massage your foot, but this is another way that we can get into it. So, and just release there, shake it out. And then let's bring the other foot, the right foot in, and gently pressing on the top of the foot. So if you notice, I have a lot of flexibility in my ankles, so my foot can really take that tilt and press inward. So my foot feels, it feels like it's getting a majority of the top of the foot. That's my foot, but some students won't be able to get their foot that deeply, in that position. And that's okay because it's normal. Like if it's really tight, you're going to start up here. And then as it loosens up, you're going to be able to press a little further with time. So just get into the toe, the pinky toe. And then let's release the foot and shake it out. Give it a little twirl. And let's give the other one a little twirl. All right. So let's bring that left knee towards our chest. Give it a nice hug. Flex the foot here. Let's point it. And then let's rotate it and relax that leg. Right knee towards the chest. Again, you can support it from underneath the thigh or at the knee and flex the foot, point, and rotate and release. All right, so let's get into our hips. Let's lengthen the spine, placing our thumbs right at the little crease there. Inhale, lengthen through the crown. Gently press the thumbs down, lengthening that spine. Take a deep breath in. We'll begin the torso circles around our pelvic bowl, any direction. And take your time. You don't have to go at my speed. You go at your speed. You know your body best. And you know what you feel in your body. And let's come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. And then gently, other side. And this definitely helps improve digestion, massages the internal organs, stimulates the sexual organs. So if you notice things happening, it might stem from this practice. Come back to center. All right, from here, let's place our hands on our lap, getting into a little cat-cow sequence, and then we're going to switch it up. So on the inhale, let's press the chest forward, take the gaze up. On the exhale, bring the chin to chest, tuck the tail, round the spine. Inhale, press the chest forward, take the gaze up. Exhale, bring the chin to chest, round the spine, tuck the tail. Continue back and forth, syncing the breath. And just feeling where you are. You can, if it feels good to close your eyes and get rid of, push away the sense of sight to go inward, you can. And then when you're ready, come back to center. And we're going to gently press the chest forward, round the shoulders. So bring the shoulders forward and really press the spine back. So really feel that stretch in the back. So the back's going to start to feel that stretch in the mid-back, and then gently release, come back to seated. And now we're going to take a dive, okay? So we're going to lead with our head, and we're going to lead as if we're like jumping in water. And that's how we're going to take the spine, like this, okay? So on the next breath, take a dive. And then come up for air, and come back. And then take your dive again. So we're doing it a little bit differently. Bring the chin inward, round the spine, and then take the dive. And just see how that feels. It's a little bit different than what we were doing before. And then come back to center. From here, let's shake the shoulders out, shake the hands out. And then from here, let's continue to shake the hands out and bring them up and around, shake the shoulders, just loosening up the body. Okay, from here, let's inhale that left arm over the left ear. And then from here, we're gonna rotate the wrist, float that arm back down, and then we're gonna begin to rotate the other one any direction, and then bring it over the right ear. And then begin again the twirl, any direction, left arm follows, and bring it over. And let's take a twirl again. Let that arm float down, and then reach over the right, and then float it back down. Let's inhale both arms up, and exhale, let everything go. Bring that left knee towards the chest. Release, other side, and release. All right. So let's stretch our arms out. We're going to give ourselves that nice hug. Left arm comes underneath the right, or anyone. And then just reach, see if you can reach those fingers towards the mid-back. So opening up the back of the shoulders, and then release, extend. Right arm comes underneath. You might feel a little tighter on one side than the other, and that's okay. Body's different every day. Also depends on how you sleep. I woke up with a kink in my back. And extend out. And then release. Roll the shoulders. All right. So from here, we're going to do like a half forward fold in a little bit of a different way today. So we're going to extend the feet out a little bit. This is countering what I usually teach, but we're going to play with it. Okay, so let's inhale, arms come up. On the exhale, we're going to swan dive down. and place your hands just on your ankles or your shins. So if you feel comfortable, you can bring your hands to the floor. If your hands are on your shins, lift the chest here. Gaze is still in front of my feet. So I'm going to place my block where my gaze is. Lift the chest, shoulders are back. And then from here, place the hands on the lap, coming all the way to seated. Let's inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive down. You can relax the neck here. Hands on the floor or on the ankles or shins. Lift the chest. And then place the hands on the lap, coming all the way to seated. So the block that's in front of my feet is just a visual guide as where my gaze falls. Inhale again. Arms rise. Exhale, flip the palms, swan dive down. Release the neck here. Hands can be on the floor. Tent the fingers if they are. Lift the chest, hands on the ankles or the shins, lifting the chest there too. And then place the hands on the lap, coming all the way back to seated mountain. Mountain pose, seated. Bring the feet a little bit more in, closer to the chair so they align. Ankles align right underneath the knees. Bring the shoulders back and feel the wrists reach towards the earth. Okay. And I want to see some smiles. All right, from here, let's bring the arms up. Bring the hands behind your head. Interlace the fingers, gently press or rest your head in your hands like you're just going to relax. Take the head and nestle it into the hands, into the palms, and then inhale, lengthen through the crown here. Extend the elbows out, open up the front of the chest. And then on the exhale, our elbows are going to come closer together. Take an inhale, open up the elbows, chest opens, exhale, elbows come closer together. One more, extend out, and then bring the elbows closer together. And then we're just going to extend out and release, and lower the arms, and roll the shoulders. All right, so from here, let's heel toe our feet out. We're going to bend that left arm and go into a side angle. Let's stretch out that right arm out, palm down. You can reach back and see how that feels, opening up the chest. And then let's scoop that arm over that right ear. Bring that right shoulder back to open if that feels good. Gaze can be straight ahead depending on what you're feeling in your neck, or you can take it up towards the bicep. So what we don't want is to collapse into our thigh. So to make sure that we're not collapsing into the thigh, we're going to reach out that left arm. So that's working our core here. Pull the navel in, beautiful, Kristen. And then gently bring that left arm back. We're going to float that right arm down and come back to center. Bend that right arm onto the right thigh. Extend that left arm out, palm down. Reach back, see how that feels. And then let's scoop that arm forward over the left ear. Whew, that feels good. Taking the gaze where it feels comfortable for you, straight ahead or towards the bicep. And then let's bring that left shoulder back, opening up the chest. Again, we don't want to collapse onto our thighs, so we're going to extend that right arm out. Nice round of breath here. And then let's pull that arm, right arm back, left arm floats down, and we're back at center. A little skier squat. Inhale, lengthen through the crown. Pull the navel in, and then gently hinge forward. Straight back. So we're not going to round the spine here. Continue to keep the shoulders away from the ears so the shoulders are pressing back. And then this is where we're going to just gently press or activate the arms to press into the inner thighs. Inner thighs are going to press inward. So you want to feel that resistance within the forearm. Okay, because your forearm is just as stable as your thighs. So both places meet and create a resistance. Keep the spine and neck aligned, shoulders away from the ears, and then relax. Come back up. Beautiful. Let's heel toe. And from here, let's stand. So another practice, we don't have blocks here, but if you have blocks at home, excuse me, and you want to strengthen the outer thighs, or maybe there's a little bit of, you know, loose muscle in the pelvic area, or that, you know, that can create incontinence. So this is a nice practice to hold the block between the thighs and pull the abdomen up, pull the navel in to be able to create that lift. So this is a nice practice to do in Tadasana. So just a little tidbit there. If you have a block, you can practice with a block between your legs, seated or standing. So out of the way. So from here, let's hold on to the chair, or if you're fine without the support, let's inhale that left arm over, create a crescent shape here, stretching the left side body, and then let's float that arm back down. Let's do that again. Reach through the fingertips and then gently float it back down. All right, so we're going to play with a little balance here. We're going to bring the right knee up, right leg up, and the left arm is going to come up. Okay? And then we're going to float it back down. We're going to repeat. Pull the navel in. And if you wobble, that's normal. You just get back in. Release. One more. And another way that you can practice this too, if you want to practice standing up, is to bring and keep the balance equal, is to bring that right arm to center and then lift the arm and the leg. So there's a little play on balance here. Sometimes if we're a little too forward, it could be a little, balance can be a little tricky. And then come back down. One more. And we'll switch sides. Okay. So standing up nice and tall. Let's bring that left knee up, left leg up, right arm rises. And then float it back down. Again, same sides. Right leg rises, left arm rises. And now I'm going to bring that left arm to heart center and play with the balance. Left leg up, right arm up, and release. 2. Inhale, 3. And exhale, release. Bring the arms to center, mountain pose. Let's inhale, arms come up. Look up at the palms and exhale, release. Let's come to the back of the chair and do a little flow here. So from the ground up, feet are nice and aligned, about hip distance apart. Grounding the feet in. Let's inhale, arms come up. We're going to fold over our chair. Let's look up at the palms and let's reach back for that micro back bend. Exhale, flip the palms. We're going to swan dive down onto the base of the chair. Let's release the neck here, loosen that up. Maybe take a little shake of the neck here, gentle. Little nod. Tent the fingers, lift the chest, extend the arms. And then gently place the hands on the back of the chair, coming up to standing. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, we let it all go. Beautiful. Let's take our feet out to the width, a little bit more than the width of the chair, if you can. If not, it's okay to keep it shorter. But if you can, keep it a little bit wider than the chair. Let's do that, okay? So let's pivot our heels inward. And then we're going to take a little hip dip, bending the knees and taking a little squat. And then come back up. Okay, let's squat again. And then gently come back up. And then squat again. And I already feel it just by doing this. So if you're not used to doing these squats, even just this gentle way of doing it, let's lower one more time. And let's hold here, lift the chest, pull the navel in, feel a little burn, and then gently press back up. All right, so from here, bring the heels back parallel to each other. We're going to go into a warrior two. Take that left foot out and just make sure that the heel aligns with the instep of that back foot. Okay, so you got a nice perpendicular stance with that back foot. And the left foot is pointing forward. So let's bend that left knee. Hips are square to the chair. Okay, so they shouldn't be tilting that way. They should be opening up this way. You feel that? So you feel the hip points here align here. And you can tell when I shift, if I had something attached to my hips, you could see the movement. So this is your visual. Choom, choom. Okay. And your knee. Take a look at the knee. Is it completely covering the toes? And if it is, it's too far beyond the ankle. Bring that knee back. So once you're straight and you take a peek down, you should only be able to really see your big toe. That means your leg is nice and aligned. Okay, so let's get into our anchor points. Anchor points, back outer edge of that back foot, front toe plugs in. So let's place our hands on our waist. Ground those two anchor points in. Okay, now loosen them up. Notice how much more unstable that stance feels. Ground again. Plug that big toe of the front foot. Ground in, which means activate this leg. The quad tightens up as you press that back outer edge of the foot in. Now feel your stance. Feels much more grounded. Inhale and safe, right? That's what's most important, is that we're safe. Take the gaze over to the left side. Now we're going to go into a reverse warrior. So flip the palm of that left hand and bring it over the left ear. And then gently come back to warrior two. Now you can relax that left arm or bring it behind you with the palm facing out. So little options there. So you want to make sure that your arms aren't up or down. You want to make sure that they're nice and straight and parallel to the floor. Let's flip the palm again, and you could bring that right arm behind you and reach back, and then come back to warrior two. Left arm flips, right arm comes behind your back if that's accessible to you, and then come back. Beautiful. From here, let's bring the arms down and float them back up. Follow the palm of the left arm, left hand, and then come back to warrior two. Let's pivot that foot back parallel and switch sides. This time bring your hands to your hips and let's get into our alignment. So hips should be facing the back of the chair. Notice where your knee is. So it should stack right over the ankle. Ground your anchor points. Inhale, arms come up. Let's flip the palm of the right hand. Float the left arm down or behind you, and then come back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful, everyone. And from here, let's float the arms down. Let's bring that foot back, and then let's heel toe or step back into position here, into mountain pose. Inhale, arms come up. Look up at the palms and reach back. Exhale, swan dive down as you flip the palms and place the hands on the base of the chair. Loosen the neck. Inhale, tent the fingers, lift the chest. You can soften the knees here. And then place the hands on the back of the chair, coming all the way back to standing. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, let it all go. Let's do a little twist here. Just bringing the arms and body into an opposite position to twist. And then come back to center. And let's place our hands on the back of the chair. Let's take a few steps back, stretch out our back going into a downward facing dog. From the ground up, feet are parallel to each other, about hip distance apart. Let's begin to reach the hips back. As we reach the hips back, lower your head, ears become parallel to the biceps. So our gaze goes towards our ankles. All right, so from here, inhale and exhale, sigh it out. Let's reach those hips back, arms reach forward. Keep the shoulders in their sockets. So soften the shoulders here and pull those arms into their sockets. And if it helps to have the palms face each other to do that, you can do that. Pull the navel in and breathe normally. All right, let's take a few steps forward. Come back to standing. Let's inhale, arms come up. Let's interlace the fingers, release the pointer finger. Reach through the fingertips, and then let's take that lean over to the left side. Press the right hips towards the right side of the room. Gently bring that left shoulder forward, and then gently come all the way back up. Let's release to give our shoulders a rest and roll them forward. And then let's do the other side. Inhale, arms come up. Interlace the fingers, pointer finger releases. On the inhale, lengthen through the fingertips, pull the navel in and take that lean over to the right. Press the left hips towards the left side of the room. Bring that right shoulder forward. Continue to pull the navel in, stretch through the fingertips and press the hips, and then gently come back up, release. Be gentle, soften the shoulders. All right, let's take our hands up. On the in-breath, exhale, bring them behind you to your lower back. And just making sure that your feet are in alignment. Hands are on your lower back, just like this. And we're going to gently inhale, lengthen through the crown, like we usually lengthen our spine. And then we're going to press our hips forward, going into a little back bend. Once your hips are forward, if you feel comfortable, you can release the neck and drop the head back. And if not, that's okay too. Come back to center, lift the chest, come back. So another way that you can do this is by just pressing the hips and leaning back and not taking the gaze all the way up, just kind of angling yourself back. So that way you keep the spine and the neck aligned if there's any discomfort in the neck by dropping the head back. And then gently come back to center, release the hands, mountain pose. So let's ground our feet. Lift the instep by activating the quads. Feel the subtlety of the glutes slide down towards the heels. Notice the evenness of the weight in your feet. So kind of shifting your weight. Notice how your feet make contact. Shoulders are back, pull the navel in. Chest is parallel to the floor. Just the awareness here. Beautiful. All right. Let's take a seat. Back into our chairs. And let's extend our feet out, Hold on to the sides of the chairs, and we're going to lift our legs up. Flex the feet. And then bring them back down. So you're using our core here. Lift the legs, flex the feet, and then bring them back down. So once again, we have those ankle movements going on here. Flex the feet, and then relax and bring them back down. Let's inhale our arms up. Full body stretch. Stretch those legs. Point the toes, and then relax. Let it all go. And let's come into our Shavasana. So last posture. Actually, before we do Shavasana, I'm going to have one more thing. So let's place the soles of our feet together. And this is one more thing that you can use a block for if you want to create a little more space in the hips. Is you can, a little feather, you can bring the soles of the feet together on a block, and that helps open up the hips a little bit more. So another little tidbit with the block. So if it helps to shimmy the bottom towards the front of the chair. Beautiful. So let's stay here. Let's close our eyes or soften our gaze. Begin to get into the natural rhythm of your breath. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. And take the breath where you want to take it, where you may feel a little bit of tension. And breathe into those spaces. Any final movement you want to make. Let your shoulders relax. Let your hips relax. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Let your eyes fall into their sockets. And enjoy your Shavasana, where we absorb all of the benefits of this beautiful practice together. And while I have you in Shavasana, I will read to you from the Radiance Sutras. We let our energy flow, rivers of power flowing everywhere, fields of magnetism relating everything. This is your origin. This is your lineage. The current of creation is right here, coursing through subtle channels, animating this very form. Follow the gentle touch of life, soft as the footprint of an ant, as tiny sensations open to vastness. Power sings as it flows, electrifies the organs of sensing, becomes liquid light, nourishes your entire being. Celebrate the boundary, where streams join the sea, where the body meets infinity. Begin to bring awareness back into the body as you keep your eyes closed. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, releasing the feet. And when you're ready, with your eyes closed, bringing your hands to heart center. I invite you to join me to bring your prayer hands up to your third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts. Down in front of our lips as a reminder to speak kind words. And back down in front of our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, and grace. Always an honor to be here with you as I deeply bow to you in gratitude. Thank you everyone for coming today. Namaste.
Namaste.